Hi, I am Dr. Alok Arora, a clinical psychologist and director with JKP Care Foundation from Mumbai, India. First of all, before I begin, let me thank Sarah Bradford and the entire team who is organizing this event, International Autism Summit. It's a wonderful idea, and bringing in people together from 10 different countries and talking about autism, sharing the experience of from different professionals and as well as autism persons is really incredible. So thank you, Sarah, for giving us this opportunity to talk about autism today. I My topic is role of parents in autism because what I believe in my practice, I have seen that the development in children with autism, it depends a lot on the inputs given by the parents. That doesn't mean I'm trying to degrade the role of therapists and doctors and fraternity. No, but that means that with the support of doctors, support of various therapists, it is necessary for a parent to understand the child's condition, what autism is all about. Put yourself in the shoes of child and understand those challenges which a child is facing in autism. Trust me, you can support them much better way. And as per my um, experience, parents who are aware about autism, parents who understand their child's condition, child's strength and challenges, they can really help their children much better than the parents who are just depending upon the doctors and therapists. So, message to the parents today is that you need to work hands in hands along with professionals, along with medical professionals, doctors, therapists, the entire all the people to support your child, and then the journey becomes very smooth. So today, let's talk about what is the role of parents and how they can work with their own child, how they can understand child's behavior. I have a presentation which I'll just share. I hope the screen is visible now. So little bit a brief about my organization, which is JKP Care Foundation. It's a registered NGO, non-profit organization registered in India, and we are working globally at this moment. We work in in the field of residential rehabilitation. We have our own setup, which is called Spandan. We are also we all running a training academy, JKP Training Academy, where we are training doctors, therapists, special educators, parents about autism. We are providing clinical leadership support to more than 30 clinics right now across India. And we are also running a project called ABHM, which is to start ABA therapy for autism across the globe in various schools, hospitals, and clinical setups. We are proud to say that we have trained more than 2,000 doctors, therapists, special educators, school teachers, parents in last 2 years. So we have trained in on various aspects of autism to more than 2,000 teachers. Now, if we talk about autism, what I say, we call them people with special needs. Usually, when we refer, we say children with special need or people with special need. But for them, we are the people who are with special needs. So if you put yourself in their shoes and realize, then you will feel, oh, we are the people. They think that we are with special needs because our needs are considered to be special for them. Here are a few photographs from our facility, residential facility. Not taking much time, let us talk about what is today's topic, which is given to me, role of parents in managing. If you can relate to this picture, maybe in your kindergarten, in your nursery or early, elementary education years, you might have heard the story that is an elephant and five blind men. Five blind men who had never experienced elephant, first of all, when they were exposed to the elephant. So whosoever touched whichever body part, they explained elephant is like that. Like for an example, somebody who touched the ears said elephant is like a fan. Somebody who touched the legs said elephant is like a tree. Or somebody who touched the tail said elephant is like a rope. Similar is the story about autism. We all face autism in a different way. We all think our perception towards autism or our experience towards autism is different. So, be it a therapist, be it a doctor, be it a parent, everybody has his own set of challenges, set of ideas, set of strategies they apply for autism. So, no two people would talk about autism on one single line. So, autism is a neurodiversity. Cases of autism are different from each other. So even the approach towards autism, management of autism, the strategy planning or IEP planning, which we say as individualized education plan, is totally different. It varies from person to person, child to child, person to person. We have different strategies which we need to apply on it. How does autism happens? Let us just understand this. It is debatable why it happens. So I'll not get into that. But what exactly happens when autism is there? Because as a parent, I should relate with my child. I should understand. I should not just simply label the child, okay, child is autism. What is happening with the child? Let us understand that in a very layman and simple language. I'll not be using any technical jargons or medical terminologies here. I'm going to talk to you in a very simple, basic language because I know people are here from various countries, so you can understand. So, how does the brain development? Because we all understand that a it is a disorder, developmental disorder. So it definitely happens in the brain. Let us understand how does the brain develops. A child's brain at the birth time is quarter of the size what it is of an adult brain. But it grows up very fast. Within first 1 year, we see that the brain develops to the double within a year. And then by the age of 3, it is almost 80%. By the age of 5, it is nearly full grown. So while this brain development is happening, at that time, if we want to teach some new strategies, modify some techniques or register some new ideas or new ways of approach, it is very easy. That's why we say early intervention is very, very important in autism. If diagnosed well at early age and provided support in early age, it is very easy for us to work with the child and bring him from the symptoms out, autism symptoms, right? A newborn baby has all the brain cells, neurons, which we call them, they have for rest of their life. But it is the connections between these cells which really make brain work. Though the size is just quarter of the adult brain at the time of birth, but they have all the neurons which are supposed to be there in adult brain. But these neuron connections, they increase with every, input that goes in the brain from the environment. They increase the new connection. They register a lot of information. Okay. Now, brain connections enable us to move, think, communicate, or do everything. Whatever we are doing is because of the brain connection. If right now, if I'm asking you to drink a glass of water, immediately these neurons in the brain starts communicating with each other. And how does that communication happen? First of all, you should hear me properly from the ears. Once you hear it, you should be able to understand, analyze, and understand the language. If I speak to you in some foreign language which you do not understand, and if I say bring glass of water or drink a glass of water, you will not react to it because language is foreign to you. You do not know that language. But today, because you know the language which I'm speaking right now, English, you are able to connect with me that I'm asking you to drink a glass of water. Now, what is the next step? Once brain analyzes what the command is being given, the neurons communicate to each other and start giving where thousands of commands to other neurons. And then from there, it goes to the body parts, the muscles, gross muscles, fine motor movements. Command follows. And then that is the expression, that is the reaction, what we do to a command. So these brain connections, which are really important, if there is a distortion in those brain connections while developing those connections, if there is a wrong connection is being developed, then that's where the real challenge comes. So the early childhood years are crucial for making these brain connections. At least 1 million new neural connections are made every second, more than at any other time in a newborn child. So imagine 1 million new neural connections are being made. How much input the child is taking from the environment and developing them. How fast it is. Now, if you see, these are two graphs. One is typical brain, another is autistic brain. So you can see the neuron connections in the brain relate to the top, which I was giving you just now. And here, the red connection, the red lines are the connections which are wrongly developed. Correcting those connections is urgent. Because these connections are wrongly developed, that's why a child is not able to understand multiple commands at a time, react to multiple commands, or express own feelings. And that's how autism happens. Now, in managing autism, what is it? Multidisciplinary approach. Most of the parents who come to me, whose children are 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years, and they are non-verbal, they just say if the child starts speaking, everything will be fine. Because once child starts speaking, child will grasp more things, and the recovery would be faster. Recovery would be there. But it is not so. Speech is important, but that's not the core area that you can just rely upon that in case of autism. More than speech, communication, non-verbal communication is it. Child starts understanding, and then child start reacting. So here in autism, we need to work on various areas. Diet. With correct diet, after the proper assessment of the child. As I said, each case is different. Each child is different. Each adult with autism is different. So after proper assessment in diet, the role of dietitian, diet and nutrition is also very role of occupational therapist or pediatric physiotherapist or physical therapist is also equally important when it comes to gross motors, fine motors, OPM exercises, a lot of other areas. Okay. Role of behavior therapist or applied behavior analysis or behavior therapist is also equally important. So it's a multidisciplinary approach. Role of special educators is important. Role of shadow teachers, if required, is important. Role of parent, we are going to talk about that. So it's a multidisciplinary approach which we need to work with when we are working with the children. We cannot just work with one domain and ignore the others. Okay. Be vigilant. As a parent, we need to be vigilant on the therapies, what is happening with my child, how my child is reacting, what is the situation, in which situation child reacts in which way. It is very, very. Focus on the positive. Now, this is where most of us do a mistake that when we are doing the assessment, we write child cannot do this, child cannot do this, child cannot do this. But we forget to write what child can do. So we just focus on the weaknesses. Whereas my suggestion here is, and my experience is, let us focus on the positive, what my child can do. And with that strength, let us work on the weaknesses one by one. Instead of focusing on weakness part, instead of focusing on the struggle area. Let us focus on the area which is positive. And with the help of that positive area, let's plan these therapies or goals or or strategies in a way that we are involving child strengths and working on the weaknesses. Stay consistent and on schedule. Usually parents make this mistake. They go for therapies, then winter comes, they take a break. Then again, rainy season comes, they take a break. So, or Christmas holidays, they take break. So I would suggest stay consistent. Whatever plans you are doing, whatever therapies you are taking, whatever goals you have set up, you need to stay consistent and on schedule. Need to follow a schedule, which is very, very important in autism. Give it time. Change will not happen overnight. If I'm teaching one skill to my child today, I cannot expect him to react and immediately respond tomorrow. I need to repeat, repeat, repeat. Have patience. Give it time. For any task, any new thing, don't copy. Understand your child's. This is one of the mistake which most of us as parents do. We look at other children. We are dependent on, information available on social media or YouTube or any other channels that one mother is saying or one parent is saying, I did this with my child and my child is doing really well. And simply, without even knowing whether it is fit for our child, we start doing the same. Yesterday, I was in a webinar where one mother said she started giving vitamin B12 to the child, and child's hyperactivity was controlled a lot. Now, that does not mean that vitamin B12 can be prescribed to all the children to just control hyperactivity. No. So don't copy. Understand your child's needs. In autism, every child is different. Every case is different. So you need to understand your own child's needs. Consult with the experts and then start any medication, any dietary change, food change should be done, supplements should be given, or any exercises, any kind of therapy should be done specific to your child needs. You need to be specific as per your own child. Do not copy other child. Understand your child's. Get support. Next, the funda is get support wherever needed, whenever needed. So do not hesitate to connect with the professionals. We all are here to support you. So do not hesitate to connect with the professionals, get support whenever you feel helpless. Look into respite care. As parents managing child with autism, we also get a lot of ups and downs. We are worried. We are worried about child's future. We are worried about child's education or career or marriage. And major stress for parents is what after us? Who's going to look after the child? What's going to happen after us? So you are stressed, you have a lot of burdens. And then comes financial burdens in the countries where we do not, like India, where we do not have a supportive insurance for autism, supportive that, you know, system, financial support system, I'm saying, then it becomes a financial burden as well. So you have financial burden, you have social stigma. You cannot take your child out with you in some societies. Other people, neighbors and relatives and public is not that supportive because lack of awareness about autism. So you have social stigma also along with it. So lots of stress is there. Parents need to take care of their own mental health too. A healthy parent can raise a healthy child. So respite care is very, very important. And it does not only help parents for their mental health needs, but it also prepares child to be cared and looked after by the immediate relatives or family friends or some caretaker when you are not there for an emergency. So it is important to look for some support system which can be your respite care. It could be your child's grandparents, it could be your close family friend or your brother, sister, or a caretaker. But you need to have respite care once in a fortnight, one day out for you, or few hours. Child is with someone else whom you can trust, who is trained to look after child, whom you can trust. Both things are important. And then those 5, 6 hours are there where you relax. You do things which you always want to do in life. You spend time with yourself. That is very, very important. So cutting your stress, that's the same. Cut down your stress. Do not think much about the society. Now, since the child is special, same do we are. So we are special. We are special parents. Why are we special parents? Because our parenting challenges are much, much higher than the other parents. We are raising a child with special needs. So we are special. So feel blessed that you have this child. God, Almighty, Khuda, Bhagwan, whatever you call the nature, has chosen you to raise this child because you have extra capabilities. Whom we give, if we have to give some extra work in a classroom, whom we give? We give to a child or to student who is more capable of doing things, whom we can trust. So similarly, nature has selected you as a parent for raising this child with special needs. So please do not feel ashamed of your child. Do not feel stressed out why my child is like this. Rather feel proud to that you are raising a child with special needs. So cut down your stress. Get balance in your life. Usually what I have seen is once we have a child who has special needs in our life, our life rotates around the child. All the time our life is rotating just around the child. But remember, before this child was born, you had a life. So you are an individual person apart from being a parent. So you have your own needs, your own wants. So create a balance. Take homework, which is again very, very important. Some of the parents feel their duty is to just pay the tuition fee or the therapy cost or the consultation fee to the doctors and therapists and send the child for therapies and bring the child back. It's not so. Be involved in the therapies. When I say be involved in the therapies with the child, it means take homework, talk to the therapist, talk to the doctor, ask them what are the goals they are following, what activities they are doing with the child, what you can do at home to support. So take homework because child goes for therapies or activities for 3 hours, 2 hours, 10, 5 hours, 6 hours in a day, not more than that. The rest 18 hours, 19 hours, 20 hours, child is with you as a parent. So if you start replicating those activities, similar areas where the therapist is working, if you start working along with the therapist at home, then you can see wonders in the development. You can see lots of development in the child. And you can help child to foster the development. Give options. Usually what we have seen is with our child, if the child is non-verbal, we also become non-verbal. That's the mistake most of the parents do. And most of the time, children with autism, they don't have much needs, much wants, or much demands when compared with other children who have neurotypical development. So what we do is we start giving them things, giving them toys, giving them clothes and everything of our choice. We don't give them options. But giving options helps them to develop first. They develop vocabulary with that. They develop, brain processing with that. Because when you are giving option to someone, you are making him Forcibly, you are making him to think and react and express. For an example, if again I'm coming back to the water, glass of water example, if your child is thirsty and he is communicating to you, he or she is communicating to you that they want water, maybe verbally or non-verbally, they are communicating. You understood that the child wants water. Now, as per the country you are in, as per the climate you are in, you can give options to the child, whether child wants plain water or child wants flavored water or child wants warm water or the cold water. So when you give these options, let the child see through the water. Let the child touch the water, feel. So the sensory inputs the child will get. With that, vocabulary will also. Let the child choose. Let the child taste, choose what he wants. Similar is uh, for the clothing. We usually simply give them one pair of shorts and t-shirt, put it there in front of them and ask them to wear or make them wear. Why not we allow them to go to the wardrobe, look into it, what all is there, and choose and select what they want. So let us start giving options to our children from today, no matter what age they are. But we should give them the options in everything so they will develop fast. Change gradually. If you want to make any changes, children with autism are very sensitive to their schedule. They love a structured environment. So whatever they do in a sequence, whatever they do in their daily routine, they love it to be in a sequence and in an organized manner. If you make a slightest change, they get disturbed. You will see their behavior meltdowns because if there is change in the environment, change in their schedule. So whatever you want to change, make it gradual change. Do not suddenly change overnight. Gradually, by informing them, by supporting them, you can make changes. But slow, one change at a time, not 10 changes at a time. Then the generalization. Generalization part is very, very important. Most of the parents who used to come to my therapy unit and they used to talk to me, major complaint was the child is doing everything in front of therapist, whatever is command following and everything. Child is behaving in an accepted manner in the clinical setup when he is there in the therapy unit. But after going back home or in after going to the public places, child is not settled. Child is again showing the same symptoms which child was showing earlier before the therapies. Then I realized generalization is the part which is missing. Most of us do this mistake that we do therapies at the therapy centers or the pediatric rehabilitation centers, I would say, or the school environment. But the moment we change the environment, child comes in public places or child comes in comes at home environment, then child is not able to relate that how child is supposed to behave there. So whatever treatment therapy plan we are giving them in the clinical setup, in the structured environment of a clinic or therapy unit, we need to do the similar thing in a different pattern for sure. In public places, we need to give them therapies at home also so that they learn generalization. So this is very, very important part here to develop the child. Celebrate achievements. Small, small achievement we should celebrate. We can't keep on waiting that my child is with autism and the day child starts speaking fluently or child read out an essay to me, that day I will celebrate. The day when child speaks the first letter, let us celebrate. The day when child is forming a sentence, let's celebrate. The day when child is asking WH question for the first time, let us celebrate. So this celebration does not only gives us the motivation, It also motivates the child. So every small achievement should be celebrated. Positive environment. I have seen a lot of cases where parents are in an environment, parents or the family members are creating a negative environment for the child by giving statements like, oh, he cannot or she cannot do this. Oh, she is with autism. What to do? Oh, nothing will happen. Oh, I'm worried, so much worried about my child. Such statements, when we create in front of the child, it impacts child's development. We need to create positive. At times, child is being ignored. At times, parents are talking or doing an activity which they are not supposed to do in front of the child, thinking child is non-verbal, child will not understand, my child doesn't understand this. At times, we are watching some web series or some TV programs in front of child with autism, thinking that child doesn't understand this. But whether they understand or not, it impacts them. It impacts their development. So we need to create the positive environment wherever child goes, be it school, be it public places, be it our own home or therapy units. Environment should be positive for the child. Trust and faith in your own doctors and therapists. That is again important. We have seen many parents who are taking therapies as if they are doing window shopping. They come to us and say, do you give trial sessions? I want to take 3 weeks trial or 3 days, sorry. I want to take 3 days trial before I actually enroll in some training program. They go to one therapist for 2 months and then again take a break for 15 days and then go to another therapist for 3 months and then take a break for 1 month, then go for another therapist for 6 months, and the journey continues. As I said, it's a time consuming process, the therapies. So therapists do not have a magical stick that they will, or an injection which they will just inject and child will show or react to it immediately. Therapists also need time to develop that connect with the child and bring the development. You need to be careful while selecting your doctor or therapist. You need to be very careful. Do under Go through the reviews, talk to other people, find out the genuinity of the doctor and therapist, read more about them. But once you have done your own research, once you have reached to that doctor, have trust, have faith in them. Let them give them time to work with your child rather than jumping from here and there, because this jumping is not helping your child and the golden developmental years when brain is developing very fast. Those years, that time you are missing. So have trust and faith in your doctors and therapists. Be careful while selecting them. But once you decide to be with them, have trust in them. Understand your child with behavioral communication. If child is non-verbal, if child is not able to speak full sentences or explain his conditions to you, understand your child with behavioral communication. What child wants to say with his own or her behavior. Understand your child. Now, if you see in children, this is a diagram which is called behavior iceberg. So it's an iceberg where unexpected behavior is above the sea level. Unexpected behavior means the meltdowns, the the uh, behaviors which you otherwise call as tantrums. We sometimes use this word. I don't recommend to use word tantrum for children with autism. It is more of meltdown or more of their struggle. But those are unexpected behavior. But why they are coming? Why child is showing those unexpected behavior? Why suddenly child becomes cranky? Why child is not supporting you? Child was doing good activity, good play with you, and suddenly child has become cranky. We as parent need to understand what are the reasons. And if you see this iceberg, you can see biological reason, emotional reason, social reason, pro-social reason, or cognitive reasons. There are many factors which bring unexpected behavior. So we need to understand our child with child's behavior. For understanding our child's behavior, I have a simple strategy. Write down each behavior. Whenever you see child is showing some sort of unexpected behavior, write down that behavior. And then describe the environment. What was the environment? What was child doing at that time? What has changed in the environment suddenly? And how did the child calm down? What strategies you used? How the child got settled? If you start writing it down on a daily basis, within 1 month, you will have 20, 30, 40 behavior meltdowns, but you will understand your child much, much, much better. You will understand when child becomes great, when child becomes shows meltdowns, what disturbs him, what pleases him, what excites him, everything you will start to. So write down. Behavior is a communication. With every behavior, child is trying to say something to you. So write down child's behavior in a diary. I call it as a child's Bible, where we write down every behavior. And I suggest this to parents right from the day of diagnosis. When they come to me and I do the diagnosis, I suggest them to start writing down each behavior. Because with each behavior, they communicate. Right from the birth. There is a pattern in, infant crying. When a small child, I like newborn baby, 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, or 1 month, 2 months, when newborn baby cries, there's a pattern. Cry because of hunger, cry because of stomach upset, cry because of feeling sleepy. The pattern is different. You need to judge, you need to understand. If you understand that pattern, you will understand, okay, my child is hungry. That's why child is crying. My child is, feeling sleepy. That's why child is crying. My child has stomach upset or stomach ache or gastric problem. That's why child is crying. If you understand and analyze those patterns, how the child is crying, the cry pattern. So every behavior we human do is a communication. There is an antecedent. There is a reason behind this behavior. What is the reason? That we need to dig in. So with this, I would, because time is limited, I would end my presentation here and just give me a moment. Thank you all for spending time with me and listening to me. If you have any questions, I am available. You can connect with Sarah and you can email that to me, or you can connect with me via Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sarah, once again. Wish you all the best in this journey of autism. Autism is manageable. Autism is simple. It's just that we need to understand our children. Thank you.